You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah! Good morning! And welcome to episode 1323 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, October 25th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Subscribe, like, and set to auto download, please. Today, I've got some What the Fuck Wednesday stories from the Hardo Hive. Listeners submitted.
Old school,
Exactly. Throwing it way back. And of course, it's about people trying to make us eat bugs again. That's what people get upset
again.
about. Yep. Once again. Also, some technology updates. I'm glad Mark isn't here to witness. That will definitely make you say, "What the fuck?" Because he wasn't feeling the glasses, the AI glasses, and I think these may be a little bit worse. So,
Yeah, Mark wants to talk to everyone when he's 65. Wants everyone to be chatty.
You think Mark's gonna be a chatter?
he wasn't happy about the AI glasses.
Yeah.
Blocking a conversation, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Pat's got coin malarkey and Céline Dion music battles in New Zealand.
Yeah. I think we may have covered this story in its earlier development. We may not have. We've definitely covered stories like this before, but it's fantastic. An FU, a dispute between contractors, way they get paid, and a judge's ruling on it. And also, we're going down under to look at some of the Maori people, some of the biggest people on this planet. That's probably why they're down under. They couldn't be on top,
Powerful people, yeah.
Break
really
the world.
kept the planet down there.
Their weight put them to the bottom, yeah.
A new trend that's birthed a new type of king.
Interesting.
A new type of king.
Interesting. And Wes has vital updates on the soft corner jump seat pilot from yesterday's episode, Dwight Howard's sex life, and noisy kids at restaurants. Stacked lineup.
That's right. Quite the trio. You guys especially need to listen up to this restaurant story I got because it pertains to both of you big time.
It's a noisy kids one, huh?
Well, I'm not saying your kids are noisy, but I'm saying...
No, Wes is in that place right now where in his fatherhood where he was stressed out for the last 13 years. Now he's kind of cooled out, and he's like...
Yeah, just chilling. I don't have any more toddlers. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me. Not a care in the world.
All he needs to worry about is
drive me around soon.
Driving safety, drug and alcohol safety, sex safety. So he's got no worries at all going on.
The way this kid's going, I don't have to worry about any of that either. Sex. What?
Come on.
It's hard to bang when you're raiding with the boys all
When you're
day.
yelling at your friends, raiding, it's hard to bang. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's fostering that competitive spirit that one day, who knows? But burying the lead, most importantly, the merchathon is tonight during and after the live stream taping of tomorrow's show at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Tonight, Wednesday night, for the taping of Thursday's show. Halloween themed. Make producer Eric punish us with the wheel. There's going to be all kinds. There's going to be like the peppers, some of the hottest peppers on earth. Some of us may have to eat. There's going to be mantle lanterns, all kinds of stuff on that wheel that Eric's going to punish us with. And you can make him punish us by just purchasing stuff at store.hardfactor.com at a discount, by the way. Use code MERCHATHON 2023, and you can just start adding to the total right now, all week up until the end of that show, or actually until the end of the week. You can keep pranking us with purchases. So.
Yeah, and tune in tomorrow because I got a special treat, specifically a long-distance nipple stimulator that I may or may not purchased, and at a certain price level, certain purchase or donation level, you might be able to be in control of that long-distance stimulator on your phone at your house, and it'll be connected to my nipples at my house.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. You got to pay top dollar for that. So
it wasn't cheap. Oh, yes. But you got to spend money to make money.
That's right. It takes money to make money. Josh Hundley in the live comments at youtube.com/hardfactornews says, can't wait for Thursday's Merchathon pod. That's right. Wednesday night's live taping of it. It's going to be hard to top Mark's cat food taco, as that may have been one of the greatest moments in podcast history. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Mark's cat food taco was epic, but
Let's go.
Got some tricks up our sleeve. You might be wondering why I'm wearing a Tiz shirt. You're like, hey, Will, that's an old design. Tiz, back from the dead. Well, it's because we're vaulting a lot of these merch designs after the end of the Merchathon. So you got to get in now. We're vaulting almost the whole store. So if there's a design you want, you need to get it now. Everything must go before the holidays.
Yeah, we're like a furniture store. It's a clearance.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Everything must go.
We must go, but we're going to stay open for at least another year.
Right. But those will not be available. It's
Right.
in the vault. Sorry.
Right. That's right.
Get it out of here.
Do Merchathon levels include ingestion methods of those peppers from Tiller? Oh my goodness. We'll get into that live on the Merchathon.
Yes, just tune in tomorrow night. That's all you got to do. As long as I don't have another baby here, I'll be on with stimulated nipples by you.
It's getting close, huh?
It's too close.
And from the sounds of it from earlier, it's not looking like you're going to be on.
Real close.
Very close.
Glenn close.
It's exciting.
All right. Well, my last story is a little haunting. So I'll kick it off. Is that
Sure.
Does that
Yeah,
work?
kick it off. Kick it off,
All right.
William.
Here
Kick
we
it
go.
off.
Do you
Kick it.
know who you're with? 3 Factor, yeah. And this is real news.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more haunting than getting fucked in the ass by Dwight Howard?
No,
We don't know that's how it goes.
Right. It's true. It's
Did you read the article?
Would you be surprised that Dwight Howard's banging dudes? Well, here's another surprise.
yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, that would be shot. We'll find out more.
haunting.
Probably. That sounds like maybe up next or soon. Maybe not last. Anyways, what the fuck Wednesday is what I got for you today. If you didn't listen way back in like the 2018, 2019 era, you may not know it, but Wednesdays used to be listener submitted content only on this podcast. The craziest shit that we and the Hardo Hive could find out there on the internet. And we called it What the Fuck Wednesday. After having moved, to the free and paid shows like patreon.com/hardfactor and the Daily Show, we went a different direction, but What the Fuck Wednesday is back in this segment today. First up from listeners Scott and Corey on Instagram, Tyson Foods, fellas, is investing more than they already were in insect proteins and non-animal proteins.
These are the chicken folks, right? Tyson.
Yeah, the
This
frozen.
is the same Tyson.
Yeah, you get it in a bag. You don't know if it's meat. Really, it's frozen and it's usually breaded. But you're hoping it's meat and that it doesn't have like factory parts in it. Sometimes it might. But now, who knows?
What do you mean, like a transmission factory parts?
No, like they get metal shavings in them all the time. And
Oh,
stuff like
yes,
that,
yes.
calls and whatnot. And
Small factory parts.
then, right, like shavings off the machine, and then also now bugs potentially because they're investing in bugs. You heard that right. The same people who flopped on the Beyond Meat Impossible Burger at the same time as having multiple C-suite executives black out and catch charges after Arkansas Razorbacks football games last year. That's Tyson's Foods, if you didn't know that.
Why
they're
are
at
you
it
kicking
again.
them when they're down for doing something that just any of us could do? Get blacked out at a Razorbacks game.
Well, we didn't bite a guy in a fight, and we
I
didn't
haven't been in a
sleep
fight in a while.
And we didn't sleep in a chick's bed
Maybe
that
he
we
was
were-
delicious.
I'd probably
Okay.
bite someone if I got in a fight today.
Yeah,
Really?
if the guy got leverage on you, Wes.
If he got leverage on me, I would be a biter, 100%.
Huh.
I'm
Well,
biting someone.
Okay, well, you might fit in at Tyson, Wes, but would you eat bug protein too? Because
No.
that's what they want you to do. Well, yeah, they want bug protein inside your frozen Tyson maybe meat that you already are a little bit questionable about because last Tuesday Tyson announced that they're investing in Protix, a Netherlands-based company that specializes in bug protein factories. Okay, they use a black soldier fly, which
God,
Wes,
that-
I don't
This is
know,
not
it's
ticks
disgusting.
that they're putting in there.
It's like a little like wasp, basically. It's got like the oily looking wings, you know, like
Oh, yeah.
look like they just got in like an oil puddle.
Yeah, insects are bad, but the worst insects are ones that have name like warrior, soldier,
black soldier flies.
marine, armored, right?
Yeah.
Machine gun.
So these bug factories making food out of black soldier flies, Tyson just invested in that. That's made by Protix over in the Netherlands, and they want to bring that over to the USA. And they say, guys, that it's only to make pet food. But give me a break. It's only a matter of time until those fly proteins that are so cheap to make it into your Tyson bag of maybe chicken. And I'm not.
This is why we're so low on the accuracy for media bias. Because we don't know this, Will. This is just this is something that may happen.
Connect the dots, Pat. This is connect the dots, okay?
The writing's on the fly's wings.
It is. The greenies will tell you that insects are better for the planet than farmed plants, which actually suck carbon out of the air at amazing rates. But what's really happening here is that the price of groceries has skyrocketed so much recently that feeding animals with crops is becoming unsustainably expensive. Therefore, the nerds at fly larva facilities and fly protein facilities have never been more flooded with cash from companies trying to save money on animal feed than they are right now in 2023. So,
I'm not excited about this. It's disgusting.
What a sick business to be in, though.
Human food. I mean, right? Like,
I mean, a lot of people already eat. A lot of countries already eat bugs, and they don't. Then they do it without any disguising. It like you
or complaints.
Or complaints. Right? They'll just straight up eat a fucking shish kebab full of grubs on the street. And luckily we're
called grubbing.
Luckily we're our economy is strong enough that we haven't gotten there yet. But if it keeps going the way it's going, maybe we will. Maybe we will have to eat bugs.
So this is the future right here. We got these nerds cooking up black soldier flies for us, and then we just chow down on them.
I can't get over the fact that I get it. Like, okay, bugs are bad. There's, I don't want to eat them, but I definitely don't want to eat. I don't want to eat ticks. I know that. I do not want to eat deer ticks. I don't want to eat any kind of ticks, and they're called pro ticks.
I don't want to eat flies either. That's disgusting.
I don't. But if flies are ticks,
black soldier flies. That's
what?
it.
Flies are ticks, right?
No.
Which you going?
Which am I going? I don't want. I guess I'll go flies over ticks, but I don't want either.
There you go. Well, can you trust a company like ProTix to serve you what you want? No.
Did you see what that company looks like? It looks like they're doing human experiments in that.
I don't fault ProTix. ProTix is making money. All right, they just turn shit into flies and then feed it to animals. I'm out on Tyson now that they are investing in ProTix to put more bugs inside their animals and then more bugs certainly inside their food one day. There's no way that this doesn't end in bug protein ending up in Tyson Foods. Like,
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Have you guys
they're buying? They own the company now. Like, it's part of Tyson Protix.
Do you guys know about there's certain businesses that like everyone has an idea for? Like every human who ever thinks about doing something entrepreneurial has an idea to do it. And one of those businesses, for example, is farming fish, right? Like what I'm talking about is the certain type of business that you can go online right now and see exactly what the economics of farming fish are. And it's like down to a science of like, okay, and that's how you know it's not a great business, right? It's like an MLM. Everyone's in it. Everyone's farming fish.
Oh yeah,
people will tell you.
Guess what? Like the first Google image result is for black soldier flies.
Fish feed.
What's that?
How to harvest them and make the proteins from them. So yeah, like there's people that do this like in their garage.
Right. I'm just thinking a lot of people do. I'm just thinking like, you know, once I thought to myself, what about farming fish? And then I did the Google and I saw, damn, everyone's in this biz. Got to find something new to farm. I never would have thought the future is farming flies, right? Dude, but someone right did, here. And these guys are making cash right now, man. So like, what aren't we thinking about farming?
Staring at a barrel of black soldier flies are just flooded in cash. Those guys have bought
black gold, Will.
2 of them the last year. Pretty crazy.
What's that one?
I'm looking at black soldier fly products already. Okay.
Yeah,
what exists?
I'm out on it. I'm out on Tyson. Getting into this, Tyson, it's dirty business. What they're doing.
It's mostly the grubs that they're selling. It looks like so. These black soldier fly larva they're already selling them as chicken food and all that kind of stuff, which is normal. Like
Those are the seeds.
Yeah, the larva is like, I mean, I know that you give larva to chickens, but so they're going to be producing pellets out of these actual flies, or is it the larva to feed to like dogs?
It's both. They use all of it. They use the whole bug, Wes.
Well, I'm actually not. I'm not mad at this. You're mad at the price of chicken.
The whole bug.
This is how we get cheaper chicken, dog. You can still eat the chicken. It's been processed.
The chickens already eat bugs.
Get it cheaper.
They're going to start feeding bugs now to also cows, to every single livestock animal they can, and eventually humans, because it's so cheap.
That's the natural progression. Dogs.
Live internet comic for producer Eric. Will has to eat a fly on the merchathon now.
No, I did it last time. I did the bug last time. I don't want.
I'm just gonna open my mouth. There's so many fucking flies in my basement. I'll eat a fly. Probably eaten one on this show before. Didn't even know it.
I hate bugs so much.
I feel like we're in a bit of a dispute, Will, about whether this is going to be fed to humans. I'll tell you about another dispute. Okay.
No, I think connect the dots. You guys could take Tyson at their word that they're never going to put the bugs in your mouth, but I will not take their word.
Just like they said they're never going to put fingers in their chicken, but that happened. There's a human finger in chicken, probably.
Or metal shavings in there, and that happens all the time.
More likely, yeah, less delicious. Guys, a Larimer County judge, that's in Colorado, as Will would know, he's wearing his Colorado hat, right? Larimer County, that's in the Denver area. Might actually be the county of Denver. Larimer, and then what's the other one? It's either the county of Denver or right next to it.
Isn't anyway, Larimer Golden close? I don't know.
There's Larimer. What's the other county up there, man? Why can't Denver I think of it? No.
Where's intern Jackson when you need him?
Yeah, where is he, man? Where the hell is he? Is Larimer County?
This is a fact check right
Boulder
up his alley.
County. Boulder County. Boulder County. Those are the two counties in that area. Anyway, Larimer County judge, he ruled late Monday that a northern Colorado welding company acted, quote, maliciously and in bad faith after they paid a subcontractor $23,000, right, in a settlement that they came to. But they paid that subcontractor in coins, guys. That's what they did. And the subcontractor was not happy. So here's the story. Right there, guys, that's John Frank of JMF Enterprises, LLC. What kind of guy does he look like to you, Wes? What do you see in John Frank?
He looks like an asshole, Pat.
Right? Do you think so? Do you think it's because he's showing up to court without a tie? Is that why he looks like an asshole?
Oh, this court picture? Yeah. Only an asshole shows up to court looking like that.
Right.
He's got his Costa del Rey's on. And then what kind of jacket is that, Pat? What you're the fashion guy. What's the technical term for that?
That's a plaid pattern. That's a Jose Bank jacket. Nothing wrong with it. But
okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of light blue on light blue there, from the Costas all the way to the jacket to the light blue.
That guy orders for every girl he goes on a date with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of kids off him. Anyway, guys, JMF Enterprises, they hired Fired Up Fabrication to subcontract on a job they had for an apartment building, I guess. And Fired Up filed a civil lawsuit against JMF saying, you didn't pay us. Okay, we got to get paid. And look, I don't know much about either company, but what I can tell you is between JMF and Fired Up Fabrication, one has a significantly more professional web presence. There's no doubt about that. And guess which one doesn't? It's JMF. JMF has a pretty weak web presence. Fired Up looks real pro. There's no doubt about that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the name is better and everything. It's just
Fired Up. They're both welding companies. JMF, Fired Up. One's a vanity company named after the guy that runs it. That's okay, I guess. But Fired Up lets you know that they're always going to be there, and
they're new school, right?
Yeah. Ready to go.
You might think that they have some family traditions though that could be pretty good. So you might give them a call too, just to see what's up.
Anyway, allegedly they did the welding work. I didn't read the lawsuit, okay? But JMS said no, we're not going to pay the 23 whatever we owe you. So they went to mediation. That was back in July, okay? For you people that don't know about mediation, let me give you a little junior legal insider information. Mediation can be in a contract, right? A place that you go before lawsuits. Sometimes you file a lawsuit, and almost always you go to mediation anyway, just to see if the judge can be like, hey, can we save some court time, court costs, and everyone's time and get this done in mediation? And they came to a settlement, and that was the JMF would pay them the $23,000 that they owed them. Okay, right. So their attorney
for the work they did.
Again, assumedly it's a good judge in Larimer County. So I assume they did the work, okay? I don't know what the dispute's about. I don't know, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that JMF said, oh, I'll pay him. I'll pay them real good. And they got 6,500 pounds of coins, okay? And they sent them on over to the attorney for fired up fabrication. Look at all those coins. You see that right there?
Yeah.
So JMF basically doesn't think they owe Fired Up this money because for some reason or another.
100%, right.
They're trolling the fuck out of them. I mean, hey, if they have a genuine gripe, it's a move. It's a move that it's a hilarious move. Yeah, can't argue with it.
The delivery, the payment, if you will, it required a forklift. Let's get to a local news clip with a partial interview from the attorney for Fired Up Fabrication. She received the payment of $23,000, which came on a flatbed truck. She got a phone call saying they're trying to deliver some coins out here, and she was like, "What?" Here's the thing: she works out of like an old school building, and her elevator can only handle 3,000 pounds, so she couldn't even accept the payment if she wanted to. But here we go.
Combination of different coins: pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters.
JMF sent a flatbed truck to the lawyer, Danielle Beam, with a welded box filled with the payment and a forklift to hand it over, suggesting they keep the change.
Quarters, dimes, nickels, and of course the pennies.
JMF even sent grainy videos of what they had done.
It's probably funny if you're not in the middle of it.
The company that sent all those coins, JMF, said in court pleadings that coins are the current coin of the realm, as they put it.
What a thing to say in pleadings.
So true.
Coins, they're the coin of the realm. So you saw the photo, guys, of the boxes. Now, the coins didn't come like that. They included the boxes, but the coins actually came all fucking mixed together as a bigger fuck you.
Oh, that's fucked
Right.
up. See, I was going to say,
As
this isn't so bad if they just gave them organized, like, yeah, it's like, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass because you got to get people to, like, come and get them. But if they were organized like that, that's not that bad.
Right. And then they sent this video, Wes, of them taking it out of the boxes.
Yeah, it's
and
just a nonstop troll. It's just a troll top to bottom. I mean,
dumping them into a big ass box and then welding that box together because
and that lady has had enough.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's pretty upset. Well, but she's doing pretty good, Will, because she won. Okay, she won. She took it to court. She won. They have to pay. They have 14 days to cough up a check. They have to pay by check. And she got her attorney's fees on top, like $7,000 maybe.
Oh, wow. So the court did not appreciate this troll. I mean, they did lose.
They hated
the
it.
Judges, so the judge is probably like, hey, you fucking lost. Pay the money.
They called it maliciously in bad faith.
Oh, well, I mean, for JMF, though, this is probably, you think it was worth it to get this prank to go national news?
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because it was
it's terrible for their business. Will
an extra $7,000.
Horrible for their business. Will
they paid an extra $7,000 to like.
Okay, so hold on. All right, so here's the thing. The invoice, let's assume, was $23,500 to start with.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't pay it. They get taken to court, so they got a lawyer up, right? So there may be $8,000 to $12,000 in attorney's fees to get to mediation. So that's why they're pissed, and they didn't want to pay in the first place. They don't like the work, but they had the cash, right? Because they had enough money to go to the bank, get the money. Let's assume JMF has a flatbed. Okay, so the labor cost was negligible. They sent 2 guys who were on their staff. Go down to the bank, get all these hilarious coins, and then maybe so like maybe they're like $1,000 extra on it. That was big. That was enough for them to say fuck you.
Yeah.
$13,000 extra.
I mean, you're already in the
Legal fees
whole
plus the
$40,000,
box.
right?
Yeah.
You're already in the whole 40. Why not toss that one extra on there to deliver all coins to them, and make it international news? Like, it kind of makes sense to me, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you are flush with cash or not this holiday season, that's all good because I got a great gift idea for you. Let's be honest. You're going to wait to the last minute, okay? And then you're going to get something that's disposable. There's nothing worse than consumerism, man. The fact, like, the holiday comes around, it's like, I got to get something. And you end up getting something that they're not going to use, right?
And worse, it's not thoughtful.
Right. Or they're going to feel like, oh, cool, a blender, or oh, cool, a gift card, right? So let me just solve that problem for you right now. I'll solve it for you right now, okay? It's late October. It's pretty easy. Why don't you go over to PaintYourLife.com, okay? Go over to PaintYourLife.com. Get a photograph or a collage of photographs of your girl, your mom, your girl's pet, your mom's pet, an uncle, an aunt, grandma. Look at that. Look at that dog.
Beautiful
Willie
dog.
got one done of his family.
Yeah.
A great photo of his family. And guess what? Willie's got a baby, not even a toddler yet, an infant. And that little guy will not stand still. So they took a photo, and the artist was able to, from other photos, paint that thing where he is standing still.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's a perfect family painting, and that'll last forever. That'll be hanging in your house
right.
forever.
That's right.
How stoked was your wife?
Very stoked. I mean, he was just sitting in his chair so happy in the one picture we have of him smiling, basically, because, infants they're usually crying. And then, but nobody will know. Everybody will think we had that amazing moment at Lake Tahoe, and it's sitting on the mantle.
Yeah, professional, hand-painted, guys. You can get oil, you can get watercolor, you can get any size. Really not as expensive as you think. Lots of options. You work with the artist to make sure it's good. It's approved, okay? You can get a great frame. It takes a little under 2 weeks, so start now. I'm dead serious. You can afford it, and it's going to blow whoever you're giving the gifts to socks right off. So this holiday season, you give the most meaningful gift you've ever given from PaintYourLife.com, and there's no risk. If you don't love your final painting, guess what? Your money's returned. So if it comes, you're like, this is bad. It's not going to happen, but if it did happen, you get it back. So there's no risk, guaranteed. And right now, limited time offer, 20% off your painting. What? 20% off your painting. How do you do it? Well, you do it with free shipping because you get that on top. To get this special offer, pretty easy. Text the word factor. So do me a favor right now if you're thinking, I got to get a gift. Take your phone out. Take your phone out. Look at it. Open up the text app. Type in 87204. And then go into the copy box. Type in the word factor. Hit send. Bam. That's how you get your 20% off. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most. That's 87204 to text factor to 87204. Factor to 87204. Mandatory message and data rates may apply. See term for details. Text factor to 87204. 20% off. Free shipping.
Blow their socks off. Do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this photo, true story. When this little guy Charlie, he died, and my girlfriend was distraught, and I didn't think I was supposed to be handling everything, and I took him to the vet to get cremated and all that stuff. She's in her distress. She didn't say that she wanted a private little box of Charlie's remains, and by the time she came to her senses and we called, he had already been cremated and basically put in a pile with other dogs. And it was heartbreaking. And this gift saved the day, because now it's instead of, insteing the little box of Charlie, this memento is now hanging on her wall. Charlie lives on.
That's much nicer anyways.
Much
beautiful.
Much nicer than a box of ashes. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to dump it later too. Is it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Save your trip.
Guys, both of you twos in particular, fair warning. If in the next couple of years, if you find yourselves packing up the old station wagon, going on a family road trip with those little tykes of yours, you find yourselves in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and are looking for a nice spot to try some local fare, don't you two dare stop at the Toccoa Riverside restaurant. Not with those two little angels of yours in tow, because
why is that?
God forbid your kids start acting like kids in that restaurant, you're going to get charged with a bad parent fee and will get scolded by the restaurant's owner, who apparently hates children. Yeah, and they're going to tell you you're a bad parent. What do you think of that?
Okay.
You're not telling me that. You're not telling me I'm a bad
They're going to not only tell you that, they're going to charge you $50 if your kid acts up.
$50. What's the average age in this town? Like 70?
Yeah, it's definitely
It's an old town.
It's an old. It's the nicest restaurant probably within 100 miles in this area. But here's where did I put it? Here's what it says on the bottom of their menu. It says gratuity 20% may be added to parties of 6 or more, separate checks. Birthday menu, adult surcharge for adults unable to parent, $3 signs. And they didn't really put a dollar sign on there, but the reviews that I've read, which I'll read you guys in a little bit, basically everyone who gets this charge, which actually does happen, gets hit with a $50 fine because their kids were being unruly.
Wow.
And
That's big talk for a restaurant whose Wi-Fi password is silly beans.
Agreed, Will. Saw that.
Right?
Not very consistent. You think silly beans,
Yeah.
Wi-Fi password means anything goes, right? It's
Yeah.
loosey-goosey.
Your kids
Right.
could shit on the floor. It's silly beans.
They even have a big chair outside that says the happy chair that people take pictures in, and it's specifically meant for kids, it looks like, because that's the picture on the website of a fucking kid in it. But
So this is a trap. This is like
It
this is like a speed trap in a small town.
Yes.
kind of. So look at their menu. So it's like, okay, well, first let me show you a few pictures inside. So it's basically just like a local, kind of like the nicest restaurant in town, owned by a local, pride and joy. You know, they serve like locally caught fresh trout from the river. It's right.
It looks
on
artesian. It looks
it's right-
artesian.
It's right on the river. A beautiful
It's
setting.
a beautiful restaurant.
Yeah,
it's
beautiful,
new school.
beautiful spot. You know, they've got like a $40 steak on the menu, chicken marsala. You know, it's if
Okay.
if you want to take your honey out for a nice dinner in the area, you're going to Toccoa. We're going to go down
Put
to
the menu
Toccoa.
back up. Put the menu back up.
There we go.
What are the sides? Sides, French fries first, corn nuggets,
Mhm.
collard greens, jalapeno cheesy grits,
Oof.
coleslaw, squash medley,
Mhm.
lemon dill green beans, stewed okra, mashed potatoes. Okay.
Yeah, that's southern.
So
Yeah, it's southern, but also for a third. What? How much is the like the steak? How much is the? It's a
$39
$40 steak.
for a 14-ounce ribeye. Choice ribeye, by the way.
all right. So if
I'll
the
take my
man gets the
$40
ribeye-
steak with the corn nuggets on the side, please.
Uh-huh.
Well, corn nuggets are delicious.
Let's say the woman is trying to eat daintily. She gets the fresh salmon for 23.
Mhm.
So now we're sitting at $63. Okay.
Yep.
You get, I don't know, four sides, three sides.
Yeah,
Right. We're like 75, $76.
go nuts.
I don't see an appetizer on there.
Well, there are. I didn't pull up the full menu. I just wanted to show you kind of like the most expensive.
north of a
items.
hundo. North of
Oh,
a
yeah,
hundo for
you
two,
get a
for
bottle
two
of
Well,
wine
you're gonna drop.
easily.
It'll be a nice date.
Like I said, it's a
I'm
nice
sure the
date.
Food's good, but
Yeah. Now,
this place, they seem like they're a little bit full of themselves,
But
right?
what
Let's get
'Cause,
to
like,
the reviews. This happened?
yeah, this has happened. So, and these are ones that I found. So this article came out in the New York Post today. There was a Reddit post that came out a while ago, but it didn't really go viral as much as it is now. So I think these reviews are pretty legit. So this one from Danielle Hampy, which is a week ago, says, if you have children, absolutely avoid this place at all costs. Holy moly. The most disrespectful owner made a huge scene in front of the entire restaurant because our children were, quote, running through the restaurant. They were down by the river. We were told we need to go to Burger King and Walmart and that we were bad parents.
It's
They
a
have
sick
a
burn.
$50 yeah, it is surcharge for bad children. We were a group of 21 and our server was amazing and very overly apologetic. Terrible business practice. We will never be back. Seemed kind of legit to me.
yeah.
Here's
What are
another
the
one.
odds that Danielle Hampy actually was looking after her kids with a party at 21? I would say no.
Zero. Those
I
kids
would
were
say
running
no.
amok down by the river.
Low, but if you have a party of 21 spending $40 a steak, you're assuming that you probably spent enough to like get the kind of the kid surcharge on the house, right? Yeah.
Here's another one from a week ago. The owner came and told me he was adding $50 to my bill because of my children's behavior. My kids watched a tablet until the food arrived, ate their food, and my wife took them outside while I waited and paid the bill. Pretty sure the owner is doing drugs in the back. Disappointed by the
Yeah,
experience.
After
Whoa,
the first
that-
review, yeah. I was thinking
That's
this is
a
an owner
charge being leveled.
Yeah.
that's an owner that parties at his own place. That's what
course.
like whenever this happens, like there's always like an over aggressive owner that gets drunk at his own restaurant and he like kicks people out and he's too mean to customers for whatever reason. It's usually just because he's a fucking mean old drunk. It sounds like one of those restaurants.
Yeah,
I
it's restaurant makeover all over it.
It's going to take a lot more reviews for me to side with the parents here because
I've just
almost
seen so many
always,
restaurant situations like that.
almost always, their parents have no fucking idea how terrible their kids are and are in complete and total denial about how their kids are affecting others.
Right.
Well, that
right.
guy said they're watching the tablet. They probably had a little bit of a tantrum, but I mean that happens. Like it happens in restaurants.
Right. And here's someone that had kids that had a 5-star review. Sat on the river and had dinner. Absolutely beautiful. Charlie, our server, was excellent. Not gonna lie, the kids loved hearing him talk. He's British. They thought it was the coolest thing about the place. He was very nice. The food's great. Blah 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 blah. You can even bring your dog. So her kids were obviously delighted by Charlie's British accent and were well behaved, just in a trance
They were also on the patio, far away from the bar, where the drunk owner was sitting there with an angry, menacing stare.
Right.
So
You're on the side of the parents here, Will. You think of these people's kids as perfect little angels.
I've seen a lot of restaurant situations where a mouthy ass owner sits at the bar, gets fucked up, and is rude to customers. So I wouldn't put it past it if there's a ton of 1-star reviews from people angry about a situation like that.
Everything I'm seeing here is really tight. The branding looks tight. The presentation looks tight. The menu looks tight.
Overall, it's 4.1 with over 2,050 Google reviews. That's pretty good.
Strong. I mean, that doesn't sound like a drunk owner to me, Willie.
Dude, there's a lot of functional alcoholics.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out this guy's
especially
name.
in the restaurant.
I think this guy just has an idea of if you bring your kids and you allow them to run amok in his restaurant, you're disrespecting his fine dining establishment that he's worked, that he thinks is like a fucking Michelin star restaurant, right? That's what he thinks in his mind, that he's running a Michelin star restaurant, and that if you disrespect that by bringing your unruly kid, that it's a direct disrespect to him. That's what I think's going on.
Yeah.
Well, he put his life into it, Wes.
Exactly.
I mean, doesn't he deserve some sort of semblance of order in his restaurant?
Yes, listen, charge kids $50 for having a bad day.
Guys, I'm gonna play some devil's advocate over here. Take a look at this. I found 2 posts on Instagram. These are tagged posts. Look at this happy family. Look at what we got. We got what looks to be a 4-year-old, right? A 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, a little rascal, so to speak. You see that rascally face that he's.
I mean, they're lucky the kids didn't have any problems while they were there.
Yeah, it's a family of 4, okay, with a 4-year-old little rascal and Hannah be traveling. Come on, Hannah. Happy Labor Day weekend. We had a great time with the family and friends, playing board games, kayaking the river, enjoying a nice meal at the cabin and at Toccoa Riverside Restaurant. Okay.
Could be a day where the owner was off. There's the happy chair. Yeah, there you go.
There's a family of 4, maybe a
Riverside happy chair,
7-year-old and a 5-year-old in the Riverside happy chair. Come on, man. I don't know.
I mean, Pat, you're a big advocate of not flying with like young kids because it ruins, it's insane. I'm I don't have a young kid anymore, so I'm leaning towards that. I like maybe like an adults only, restaurant where there's no kids screaming, but I don't know. What do you think? Are they going to start something? This is a trend. I don't know.
We don't go out. We don't go out to restaurant. I mean, because every time I go out to the restaurant, my kid's fucking running around, and I feel like it's impacting other diners.
Right.
I'm not going to this fucking nice ass restaurant. I'm not.
Like the parents,
I'm not going to a place where I can get a steak.
Let the kid turn around in the booth and just stare at you and fuck with you the whole meal.
I mean, sometimes there's get-togethers. You got to bring your kids to something. Like the 21 person. There was a bunch of people that were getting together. They had to bring their fucking kids. What, they all get babysitters? I mean, like,
you get one and you split it.
This is for what, 40 kids. I mean, like I don't know.
Dining
it seems ridiculous to me. Just say no kids allowed if you're gonna charge people $50 for having unruly kids. It's like, where's the fucking line? I don't even understand. It seems so arbitrary.
I agree. It is kind of an arbitrary line. I mean, like, it's at the discretion.
That's why
I would love to know
it's only a drunk person
discretion
would enforce a rule like that.
Right.
Like,
the owner's mood is the line.
Right, the owner's mood is like that's just strikes me as such a drunk move.
If he's after his 5th drink or before.
Yeah, exactly. Like if he's in a bad mood, and he's at the bar, you get charged $50. But if not, you get a fucking smile and a pat on the ass.
If your kid interrupts a story that he's told a million times, oh, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're getting a favorite fishing story.
50. I'm thinking about to waiting tables, right? And like, as a waiter, it's just a shitty position to be in. You're just asked to eat shit, and a lot of times you like go back to the computer to ring something, and you're like, motherfucker, to under your breath.
Yeah.
If the discretion is at the waiters and the owner is allowing it, then there's going to be no rhyme or reason for why this charge gets applied. And if you just piss off the wrong waiter, they're going to come back and be like, guess what? We got a bad parenting situation. And the owner's going to be like, ring it up, dude. Ring it up. It could really get out of hand.
Strikes me as total bullshit, personally. Yeah. But, works for him, I guess. He's got 2,000 reviews. He's still got 4.1.
He's doing good. His food must be delicious.
It looks like a nice restaurant.
The ambiance is really the best part about it.
I'd like to eat there. I would not bring my kids though. I know I'd get charged. I know I'd get charged.
What's that?
Nice. All right. Next, What the Fuck Wednesday segment here from Kyle and PFits on Instagram. The future of invasive drones is here. Very invasive. So invasive. They could come right up inside you. You wouldn't even know. And like I said at the top, I'm glad that Mark's not here for this one because he'd be sweating if he saw what I'm about to show you guys. I'm going to start us off slow and build up to the more scary stuff at the end. So first, I'd like to introduce to you guys the newest invention out of Japan. It's what's being called the Dragon. Okay. And according to Interesting Engineering, in Tokyo, engineer Moju Zhao has developed a transformative drone named Dragon that can change its shape mid-flight to navigate tight spaces, and it's got dual rotors all over its snake-like body, and it's literally designed to be, tiny robotic dragon that can change shapes as it flies, flex in and out of anywhere it needs to get to extremely tight spaces, and do whatever a drone needs to do once it gets there. Inside, outside, anywhere it can go at all.
This reminds me of the things in War of the Worlds. Remember where they're hiding from the fucking things?
Yeah.
And they can just snake around and find them in the basement and shit.
Yep.
It's like a metal rod with 4 joints on it, right? That are 180 degree
rotors.
Joints.
Yeah, exactly.
And
dual rotors on each piece, on each rod, so that it's like a flying snake. It's a dragon. And it's like the early versions of like what Wes said from the movies, or like from the Matrix, like the things that search you out, right, and find you. It's wild. It's wild. These are drones that can go fucking anywhere. They can like open shit, push shit.
That thing could kidnap a baby. Like that thing could kidnap a baby in the middle of the night.
Easily
fly right through the baby's window.
Look at it picking up. Look at it pick up this baby-sized bin. Right
exactly.
There,
that's what made me think of
it's
it.
It's like the one demo they have. Like
it flies away with your baby.
That's fucking nuts.
Exactly, dude. Baby weight. Yeah, that's what, that's probably what the guy said. Like when he put the drum inside of its grip.
You have a baby you can't quite get.
Maybe say. So I mean,
almost got it.
Yeah, we're gonna get that baby for you.
Yeah. So it could do other things besides save babies, which is terrifying.
Yeah, like you can go shh, shh. Quiet now.
Yeah,
fucked up, man. That's scary,
dude. I wonder if
it or an assassination, whatever it needs.
Yeah, assassination.
So they had it like a box. Can it fly like a javelin?
Like dude, straight. It can go straight. It can go anywhere from straight to all the way folded up. Everything. This thing can go any place. If it has an open window, it can go through a whole house. Open doors and shit. If they're cracked,
that's cool.
Like they maybe even could put a hand on it. Who knows? Like that thing is pretty fucking crazy. So
it's good for
fucking hate it, bro.
It's good for police. It's good for the army.
How is it good for police in the army? Dude?
Well, because if you got like a fucking psycho that's like held up in a
yes,
for
the application of their task without abuse. Yes.
Yeah. Right, but Pat, yes, I mean the abuse is clear, right? You could see.
I want to abuse it already. I want to get my hands on it and abuse it right now.
I want to kidnap a baby with it.
Dude, I want to find babies that people can't get at. They thought these babies were unkidnappable.
We just got to get our hands on a few dragons. It's probably one of the coolest drone innovations I've seen.
Dude, what's a trip on that is like you start thinking about like old defense systems for valuables. So like maybe a warehouse where the top windows are barred, right? But it's open air. There's going to be scenarios where you can like soon take advantage of and exploit weak security defenses.
Sneaking in drugs to prisons. This is going to be
stuff like
next
that.
Level.
Right? Yeah.
The Dragon is gonna. It's a game changer all around. Yeah,
it is.
Everybody's gonna want to get.
It doesn't say what the payload is, man. I want to know what the payload is, bro. Oh man.
A baby, enough to get a baby. That's
at least one baby, 1.5 baby. But how old? Like 6 months old?
Like a 10-pounder
baby with full diaper. That's the way.
Yeah.
And finally, this tech innovation may give you a bit of a nightmare. Introducing the U.S. Marine Corps' own rocket-mounted robot dogs. This is they're testing these out at 29 Palms, according to Atlas News 3 on Instagram, and apparently they're using the same Chinese robo dog Unitree 1 that Russia strapped the weapons on and showed off last year as well. But our Marines in the United States actually got one of these robot dogs to fire a rocket, and they filmed it. So here it is.
Rocket hit. Nice.
Boom. Yeah.
Look at
I have to say so. Agreed.
Fucking nailed it, right? So now there's robot dogs with like heat-seeking rockets attached to their backs that our military is actually like successfully testing in the field there, it looks like. So
I don't want to shit on
sweet.
that, Will, because it was sick. But like, if
Yeah.
I'm releasing a video of a robot dog firing a rocket, I mean, that was essentially just a rocket launcher stand. It didn't
Well,
move at all.
The robot dog is so light that it has to go up against something to brace itself to fire a rocket round, is my guess. So they
So
had
it can't
to
be
like,
running at you, firing rockets.
No,
It'd be
but it
just
could, like,
blowing itself back.
post up against a
Super
house
cute.
and fire at you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's weird to think that you could literally be invaded by like armed robot dogs these days.
Dude,
But
I mean,
you got to keep up with it, you know?
the gunfire video freaked me out a lot more than that. The robot dog firing a gun.
The
Yeah,
Russians,
that's way
yeah,
scary.
they put the Tommy gun on it, fired the gun. They also put a rocket launcher on their dog, but they didn't have a video of it firing the rocket. We got the video of the firing the rocket. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Now
do.
we all have robot dogs for war.
Shit. You guys want to go down under real quick? Head on down.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
All right, cool. So check it out. This is a new type of king. It's called a Siren King. You know what a Siren King is?
No.
This is a Siren King. Check that shit out. That's a fucking car with
shit.
like a butt ton of bullhorn sirens on it. This is a new trend done in New Zealand. And I guess it's a competition situation. You strap as many sirens to your car as you can. Okay. And then whoever can blast tunes the loudest is the king or the Siren King.
That guy couldn't even drive with those sirens though. Pull it
Fuck
back
you.
up.
He could drive. He could
Well,
drive. It'll be
How is
loud
he
as
seeing
shit.
through those sirens?
Because he pops his head out the side window.
It's like Ricky Bobby with the Fig Newton endorsement.
Pops
on
his head, dog.
windshield. Yeah.
Look at these Siren Kings.
Oh,
dog.
okay.
See,
some of
that
them
I
you
can see.
through. Some of them
Yeah.
you can see through, but not the one guy with the giant horn in the middle. You cannot see through that. You can't drive. That
Dude,
car's
that's actually a
undrivable.
great idea, Willie. I didn't think about it, is get translucent because they're plastic. It's essentially what you
Right.
see on a bullhorn, like on a school to make announcements, old school.
Yeah, like a propaganda like siren that you'd see.
Right. If you had the clear ones, it'd save you from some tickets. You could talk your way out of it at least. Like I could
Make
see.
that shit translucent, man.
Yeah.
The city down there in New Zealand that's having a big issue with these guys is Porirua. Porirua. No idea how to pronounce that in Maori.
Yeah. I think you probably nailed it. You know,
Porirua. But yeah, dude, these teens are getting out there, and they're you know what they're saying? It's like,
might. Yeah.
why you mad at us?
Dangerous.
Right? We're not shooting up the club. Look, they got some. This was one where they got sirens on bikes. Look at these chunky kids with sirens on bikes.
So
Can't wait till the day they can drive.
they're just trolling everybody. That's it. They just
I mean, they're just blasting tunes as loud as they can, man. That's what they're doing.
investing lots of money into loudspeakers to troll everyone in town.
This is just a less cool version of having like an awesome stereo system in your car with like a big bass. It's like I don't know.
Which is pointed outwards is what
Right,
it is.
right. It's visible.
So is it like a war? Is it like what? Why?
I mean, they call it's a competition, like a TikTok challenge is a TikTok challenge. You know what I mean? It's like,
gotcha. Who can be the most obnoxious with the speakers?
I mean, maybe someone's rolling out there with decibel meters. I don't know, but probably more like, oh, mate, that's the loudest now. Oh shit, yours is the loudest now. I need to add another siren.
It's the most sirens yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much how it goes. Damn, bro, where'd you get the extra sirens?
Looks like your sirens came in.
All right. So I mean, and then you're the king of the sirens
You're
when
the
you have the
Siren
most
King.
for that day. Yeah.
Oh, you're the king, mate. The
Until
sirens.
your cousin gets another siren on his bike.
Yeah, until the shipment comes in, then you just get a siren over siren over siren on these fucking cars.
Dude, okay, so all right, here's what's weird about it, right? So like you were saying, like it's like a sub live internet comment Corey Webb says, back in my day, I had a subwoofer and an amp. What the fuck
That's
is this backwards ass
Right.
goofy
and
shit?
A car.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right. So Kate follows this guy on Instagram. She showed him to me that has such a loud sub. It's awesome that he'll and he keeps his hair long. So when the sub hits, it blows his fucking hair like a dog's ears in like a commercial, right?
Yeah.
So Kate hadn't heard from that guy in a while, and she loves him. So she like DM'd him like, "Hey, are you okay?" Like, cause she thought like maybe he had died because he just went cold.
Blunt force trauma to the ear. You know,
she was like, "Hey, that guy got back to me," and I was like, "Oh, is he alive?" She goes, "Yeah." He said he's just been working really hard on making his car louder, and
it's a business he's in. You know,
right? He's putting everything he has
maximum
into it.
flow. Yeah.
I get where you're enjoying it, where it's like, yes, there's going to be some serious bleed. It's mostly bleed to the outside, but you can at least argue, I like my music loud, and then you have to deal with it. This is different, bro. This is someone they're foisting their music upon you guys, and the music of choice.
Annoying.
Yeah.
It is annoying, Will.
Annoying.
You don't need to correct yourself. You got it.
Word. No, it's a new word that this is the only thing that's annoying. I mean, it's the most annoying thing I've ever seen.
Right. So you'd think that there's mostly like hip hop or like drum and bass being blasted through these sirens. But look, a siren is just one part of a speaker. There's no sub to it. It's just the tweeter. It's just the top. Okay.
It's all treble.
So, yeah, exactly.
High pitch.
Exactly, guys. It's not designed.
Sounds like you're at an Indian wedding all day. When
it's not designed to project a full sound. It's not at all. It's just one frequency or part of the frequency. So that's why an unlikely artist has become the most popular to be blasted through the Siren King's conveyance of sound, and that is Céline Dion, the Canadian pop star.
She's the best.
It's the high notes. Yeah.
My heart will go on. Exactly, guys. It's a serious problem. So there's been a petition launched in that small town in New Zealand, and this is from 3 weeks ago. This is the reason people signed a petition. I think it's got 200 signatures out of 500. Karen Griffin says, the noise is upsetting to children in the area. And Diana Paris says, I'm sick of the disturbing of the peace that sometimes goes on for hours. Although I enjoy Céline Dion in the comfort of my lounge at my volume, I don't enjoy hearing fragments of it stopping and starting anywhere between 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. It's a serious problem.
Clarify that you like Céline.
Yeah, so the big coverage, the big coverage on this story was done by a New Zealand.
I'm not a Céline hater.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong.
I love her entire collection.
I love women and Céline.
Look, I'm a lean head, okay? The publication that did the deep dive on this that everyone picked it up from, they interviewed one of the Siren Kings, and he said that Céline Dion's music is used in siren battles most often because her songs are high treble, clear, and have little to no bass, which are just perfect for sirens talk. Yeah. To add to the matter, I guess the geographic location of this city is adding to the problem. The mayor of Porirua says, we need to find somewhere alternative for these people to go, or they need to stop. It's vibrating all over the city whenever they do it because we're in a basin. It's frustrating. So effectively, the sirens are like double sirens in this town.
It's ruining the town.
I would hate it too. I mean, a 1 a.m. siren blasting Céline Dion is gonna piss anyone off.
Yeah, it's like you're treating everybody in town like they're homeless vagrants that you want to scare off from the party.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's like they're just like, clear out now. You know.
Yeah. I think you got room for a couple more sirens there, bro.
I love that they roll around with that shit on their car.
They don't even decorate the sirens; just straight out of the box, right onto the car.
Dude, exactly. Like this is.
Ratchet them
on. I mean, like for real, dude. Like American car culture. At least people try to fabricate shit. These people just threw a fucking 2x4 on their roof, and a 2x4 on their hood, and just fucking screwed the sirens down. Apparently, the wiring's very complex, though.
I bet.
Oh yeah, very, very complex rigs.
All right. I'm gonna give you guys an update on the story we covered yesterday. That psycho pilot who tried to take down the plane carrying 83, 84 people. I've seen different numbers. Coming from Everett to San Francisco. Remember, he was flying. He was an off-duty pilot. He was employed by this airline, and he was sitting in the jump seat behind the captain and the co-captain up there in the cockpit. And he lost his mind, and he tried to like pull the fuel line, and which would have shut off fuel to the engines, shutting the engines down, taking the plane down, killing everyone on board. Okay. Then remember, he was charged with 83 counts of attempted murder. He got charged with some other stuff by the FBI. And today it came out as to why he's saying it happened. Right. So he said that he hadn't slept for 40 hours and that he had been taking psychedelic mushrooms for the first time. Okay, so he's saying I was sleep deprived, and I took mushrooms, and I had a nervous breakdown. Is the
It's
gist
the
of
nervous breakdown, buddy. It's not the mushrooms. Stop trying to blame the mushrooms.
Well,
or
the
sleep
mushrooms
deprivation.
can trigger a nervous break. Well, so what he says,
It
when
may
he
have
says
helped
nervous
him get
breakdown.
there.
Nervous breakdown ain't a thing. That's a term they use. It's called a psychotic break. So
Right.
he had something dwelling inside him,
Right.
that was awakened by heavy duty psychedelic for him.
But and sleep if he really
Sleep
hadn't
deprivation
slept
can
in
add
40
that,
hours,
yeah.
that will make you insane. It'll make you absolutely like 24
Sure,
hours.
but he's a
like that.
pilot working for the
Yes.
airline. He's not supposed to be doing either of those in the cockpit.
Well, I'm not making excuses for him. He's an idiot, and
He
he
likes
tried
to
to kill a bunch of
party.
people. Yeah. So in the affidavit that he said to the police, he said, "quote I didn't feel okay. It seemed like the pilots weren't paying attention to what was going on. It didn't seem right." He also told. So once they kicked him out of the cockpit, the pilots. We heard on the air yesterday that the pilot said he was like kind of calm back there. Apparently he wasn't. Apparently he
How
was
many
still
fucking
acting.
mushrooms did he take?
Apparently he was still
did
acting like a nut, and he was trying to open the emergency doors. And
This
they
is
had
important to know.
like,
How
zip
many
tie him.
grams of mushrooms did this guy take? Did he disclose that?
It didn't disclose how much he take, but the pilot said that they had no inclination that this guy was either sleep deprived or on mushrooms, because they were having a normal conversation with him, and all of a sudden he lunged for the fucking fire line, and they were like, "What the fuck, bro?"
And he was just on a ride. He was on a ride along, right?
Yeah, this happens
he's
all
a
the time where
jump
he was just hopping to a destination where he was probably
Right.
going to have his own job, in San Francisco.
Do more mushrooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, your first time taking mushrooms. So mushrooms takes about
Terrible.
an hour to kick in, right? So
Yeah.
if you're
You
on
think
this,
he
if
did
you're on-
mushrooms for the first time right before work?
that's what he's saying.
He's saying
Right?
it was his first time.
It seems doubtful.
So it takes an hour for mushrooms to start kicking in. If he's on that plane, he was
Yeah.
at the airport earlier.
It could
He was
be-
at
it could be
the
30
airport for an
minutes.
hour, right?
But yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is the scenario where he's like, yeah, bro, riding in close quarters with two colleagues for 4 hours, better try psychedelics for the first time.
That's a lie. The first time thing's a lie. A lot of this
Right.
is a lie.
Right. Well,
The-
he's facing 83 attempted murder charges. He's going to say whatever the fuck he thinks is going to get him
Exactly.
out. Right.
He thinks that this is going to lessen his charges. I don't know if it will.
Insanity plea. Right.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess.
He also
How low
said
did the plane get though? Like, did it get that low?
no. They
They stopped him before. They were like, "What the
Right.
fuck are you doing? You almost crashed the plane, dumbass!" And
Yeah.
they put him in the back of the plane, and he's
put
like,
him back in
"Oh,
plane.
I'm shroomed out. They're going to crash
then-
the plane."
And then what the co-pilot said to the pilot, I remember my first time on mushrooms.
He also
You took a
said
stem and a cap, huh? Amateur.
he also told the flight attendants back when he was trying to open the emergency door. He said, "You need to cuff me right now, or it's going to be bad." He's also apparently the affidavit says that he told the flight attendant, "I messed everything up," adding that he tried to kill everyone. And he said that he pulled the emergency shutoff handles because he thought he was dreaming and he just wanted to wake up. So he thought he was just claiming he was
Okay.
out of his mind, hallucinating, thought he was dreaming.
That's just a mishmash. I believe he's on drugs. He needs to admit how much he took, because if that's got to be a ton of shrooms.
When I was 17, I was at Will's house and we smoked a marijuana. It was a high potency marijuana that we had just gotten. It was one of the first or the second really high potency marijuanas we ever got.
You couldn't even get your hands on stuff like that. It was awesome.
And we put it in a blunt, right? Which is how we'd been smoking low potency marijuana.
Yeah.
And I went I had one of the worst out of body, out of mind panic attacks I've ever had in my life, where I like wanted to wake up.
Yeah, it was a bad.
I was
day. You
17.
had to go to like class, and then you got some really bad news over the phone.
Yeah, well, it was that same weed that made my grandma died. The same weed but we smoked that weed for like a week, and it was a bad other experience I had. I didn't tell anyone. I was curled up in your room next to the bed in a ball. But horrible. My point is, I've been there. But at 17, my mind was fresh, fertile, new. This is a grown man. He has his pilot's license.
Yeah, no, this guy's bullshitting. He's not. That's not the whole story.
No, it's not the whole story. He's trying to get a lesser charge or something that maybe if you are on shrooms and you can be clinically insane. I don't know. He had a nervous breakdown and he tried to kill a bunch of people is the bottom line. And he's not denying what he did. He says he told the cops in Portland. He says, "I'm not fighting any of the charges you want to bring against me." And the FBI is now, filing more charges against him because of interference with like a flight crew or something like that. I don't know. He's getting the book thrown at him. But that's what he's rolling with right now is mushrooms, no sleep, nervous breakdown.
Live comment from Ryan Carbajal. He says, "How did they get through security checks with all the shrooms?" So maybe what he's saying is that he had a bag and he ate the rest of it. Probably to get through.
That's
onto
the scenario.
Plane. And then, but he needs to tell everybody how much he took, because if he took an irresponsible amount, that doesn't help his argument at all.
He was in a Schnozberry's taste like Schnozberry's situation from Super.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to jump out a window the first time I did shrooms too, but
you wouldn't have cut the gas line on the plane.
I don't think so. I just wanted like,
well, Wes doesn't know that much about
someone to tell me it's okay. Yeah. If someone, yeah. I didn't want to kill anyone. I just wanted a hug and like tell me it was going to end soon.
I just wanted my mom.
Like, switching in your seat and demanding a drink as soon as the drink cart passed. It would have been.
Yeah.
Different levels here.
Yeah. So that's what he's going with. I don't even really want to cover this Dwight Howard thing. It's all hearsay at this point. He's acknowledging that he is in fact a gay man, but there's a guy out there that's saying he sexually assaulted him, saying that Dwight Howard basically pulled his pants down, forcefully performed oral sex on him, invited someone else to the party that he didn't want there. I don't know. Dwight Howard is saying it's all bullshit, so I'm just going to wait on it until we know more about it.
Okay, we'll wait on that one, Wes. But look at this. Yeah. One more time, going back to live commenter Corey Webb at youtube.com/hardfactnews. Related, he says, "Imagine walking in on your old lady getting spit roasted by two dragons, the autonomous drones."
It's not her fault.
Can you be mad at that? You really can't, Corey, is the answer.
What does he mean, spit roasted?
Well,
like a dragon, there's one, come on.
There's one dragon in the front, one dragon
getting
in the
double teamed by a couple dragons.
He's also he's
fraternity dragons with backwards
double
dragons on.
He's interlacing the joke with all kinds of current porn trends and whatnot. So I thought it was fantastic, Corey.
Okay.
One red dragon, one blue dragon.
Anyway, anything else? Any other porn jokes?
Just how did they make Double Dragon into a movie off of that video game?
I don't know.
Honey, make it stop. You're saying that you didn't call those dragons up. They just flew in.
A lot of levels.
Did you leave the window cracked?
We talked about this.
I know you left that window cracked.
Yeah.
You know how thin those things can get?
Yeah. They can get through anything.
Okay, well then why they high five after?
Did you see how excited they were when they bust out of here? How's that make me feel?
They were talking about getting a keg.
Don't forget tomorrow or tonight, if you're listening to the podcast, if you're joining us live, it's tomorrow. Merchathon, 7:30 Eastern. Make us do crazy stuff. You can donate. You can buy merch. Really helps us out to continue doing this, because a lot of you are just freeloading anyway and not giving us anything. So here's your chance. Here's a chance to give back a little bit by buying some merch, maybe donating to the live stream, and you will get something in return per usual from us. So
use that code Merchathon 2023 at store.hardfactor.com all week. You're getting a discount there. Plus, you're
Got to
doing
get the
your holiday
total
shopping,
up,
so
right? The total, complete and total.
Right.
That's what makes us do the things on camera.
exactly.
That's right.
We're probably already into some pranks at this point, and the wheel of pranks is just going to hit us harder and harder the more merch buys you make. Also, you can just donate straight into the Patreon, or sorry, the youtube.com/artifactnews chat. You can make Pat shock his nipples potentially with a big donation. You never know. You're gonna have to join to
You
find
could be
out.
a shocker potentially.
And then and then also patreon.com/hardfactor signups if you want to just join the Patreon, which then you get up to 2 weekly bonus podcasts and access to our Discord server as well. And you're giving yourself a gift with that, or you could gift it to somebody else. That goes toward the total as well. So a lot of ways to make us do stupid shit tonight.
Look at that guy, huh? Oof.
Wow. Yeah. Imagine that's aggressive if he's really doing the move that guy claims.
It's a big guy.
It'd be hard to get away from him. He's got long limbs and they look powerful.
Dragon couldn't lift him. You know what I mean?
No, the Dragons would have trouble with Dwight.
Oh. I think he does play for. He's in Japan now. He played. Here's the Chuyan Leopards, China probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
they might want to get him on the Dragons.
Yeah. Anyway, that's gonna do it for the show. Please join us for the merchathon. But most importantly, we love you. Have a great fucking day.